Hi, I'm your host, Larry Bass with the Foreclosure Answer Man and also avoidforeclosure.tv. And I have a number up here today, which is 14 million. Today is March 11th, 2011. And what we're talking about is a company called Bank of America, BOA for short. Those of us, we cannot use the term that we think of them on air here. But Bank of America has approximately 14 million loans that they service. And what is unique what's happening today, there's a gentleman named Terry Laughlin. Now, Terry is in charge of overseeing the foreclosures and then also dealing with investors who are coming to Bank of America saying, hey, you need to buy back these loans you sold us, these bad loans, because we're losing our shirts on our portfolios. So he's the guy that's dealing with all the headaches here. Now, what's important for you as a homeowner to understand is that I think overall nationwide, now again, some pockets of the country it may not affect as much as others, but the home prices are going to go down even further. Because Terry has just said in a meeting today is they want to do a good bank, bad bank situation. So here's what they want to do with these 14 million. Of them, almost half of them, or 6.7 million of them, are in default or look like they will be in default because they're interest only, they're adjustable rate mortgages, they're subprime loans that haven't gone default yet. But of these, almost half of these 14 million, they're going to start a new part of Bank of America called, they're going to call it the legacy portfolio. And they're going to go ahead and take half of these and they're going to bring them into the legacy portfolio. Now, what they want to do then, because they want to keep Bank of America as a good name, the good bank, and the legacy portfolio as bad bank. Then what they're going to do, he says, in the next 36 months, he says, we are creating a classic good bank, bad bank structure, Laughlin told investors in a meeting today. We're going to get after this. We're going to do it the right way, and we're going to put it to bed in the next 36 months. So what that means is if this is true and they want to get rid of almost 7 million loans in 36 months, that means you're going to see approximately 2,333,000 loans or homes that are probably going to be coming on the market because they got to wipe out the loans. You know, they got to short sell them, they're going to foreclose, whatever they're going to do to get rid of all these 7 million that are going to be in legacy portfolio. Now, legacy portfolio is going to have a $1 trillion, is $1 trillion, so $1 trillion portfolio. Now, how much is 1 trillion, you may ask? Well, I did a little research on Google, and if we were to say $1 is equal to 1 second of a clock, it would take 1 trillion seconds. So 1 trillion seconds, we'll just put trillion, seconds is equal to, I wrote this down, 31,546 years. So folks, you couldn't even count that. If you were going to live this long, you couldn't even count it. 1 every second. 1, 2, 3. And these are dollars. It's going to take you over 31,000 years to get rid of this portfolio and this legacy portfolio. Now, he says here, many of these assets are coming over into the legacy asset servicing portfolio, are delinquent and are expected to go delinquent over the next 3 years. He says, as borrowers default, we evaluate them for a loan modification. For those of you who have had to go through a loan modification, very few of you got it. Because here's the problem with a loan modification. Is people thought, oh great, the government's going to come in and we're going to do a loan mod, which we're going to take my payment and we're going to lower it. Maybe we'll even cut it in half. Because I have no income, I have no job. But when they do the loan modification, if you remember, those of you who have gone through it, they say, hey, what's your income? And you go, what income? I just got laid off. And I say, oh, you don't qualify. So then you scramble and try to figure out some income because you say, okay, this is the game. Well, here's how they normally play this. Let's pretend like your house payment and car payment and credit cards and all of that, food, all of your expenses are $3,000. So if we have $3,000 expenses and your income is $2,000, well, most likely your payment's not such that they're going to drop it $1,000 to have your expenses and your income equal the same. Now they're going to say you don't qualify for the loan mod, and you say, oh, okay, well, oh, I'm sorry, I meant my income is $4,000. Well, then they're going to say, well, if your income's 4, everything's only 3. Hey, you don't need a loan mod. You can make the payments, so keep making it. I don't care if your house is underwater. I don't care if it's a rental and your renters haven't paid for 4 months, which has happened to me several times. Go ahead and still make your payments. So what you got to play the game is, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I forgot. I only make $3,100 in income, and my expenses are $3,000. Well, and then of course you have to prove all this with tax returns, bank statements, pay stubs, all of that. Well, if that's the case, then you probably may qualify for a loan mod, or even let's just say your income's $3,100 and your expenses are $33,000. Well, they'll probably still go with that because they will drop your payment perhaps $300, $400, $500 a month. So then, of course, your income exceeds your expenses. So the loan mod would work in that way. But the problem is most people, when they lost, they were already kind of living like this as it was with the job. Then without the job, this stayed and this went in the toilet. So that's why most of the people didn't get approved for it, which you can't blame the banks. So loan mod is not really probably an answer for most of these loans. The next thing you have is foreclosure, okay, or a deed in lieu of. That is called a deed in lieu of foreclosure, which means, hey, Mr. Mortgage Company, I owe you $200,000. I can't make the payments. Let me go ahead and sign over my deed and don't foreclose on me. The problem with that is it's still actually considered a foreclosure, even though it didn't go through the process. So that's not a best option either. Now, none of these are good options. Loan mod, foreclosure, deed in lieu of, or even the next one, which is a short sale. None of these are good situations to be in, but if you have to be in one of these situations because of life, the short sale is the way to go. We just do a short sale. And that is where the bank will say, oh, okay, you owe $200,000. The house is worth $165,000. We will go ahead and take the loss from the $200,000 to $165,000, plus we will pay the real estate commissions, your title fees, closing fees, water escrows, HOA fees, most of them, not all of them. And we will go ahead and sell the house, and you will walk away. Will you owe them this much as what they call a judgment? You may not. It all depends on the bank and everything. But if you have to go, it's better than going through a foreclosure and owing it all. So a short sale is the best way to go, and you want to contact someone like myself who's been doing this for quite a while, or another realtor that you know of that is proficient in short sales. So what we're going to end up with is, like I say, we got 31,546 years, and that's only for $1 trillion. By the way, of course, our country's in what, $6-7 trillion debt, and they want to go up to maybe 14 for spending money they don't already have. Folks, this is a losing battle. Let me encourage you. What you can get out of debt. That's the first thing. Get out of debt. You can go to Dave Ramsey, RAMSAY.com. He's got 7 baby steps to help you get out of debt. But what's going to happen is understand home values are going to go down in most parts of the country. Now, if you have any further questions, whether you live in the Denver, Colorado area where I work or not, feel free to call me or go to my website. And here it is. There's my phone, 303-944-2277, and foreclosureanswerman.com. I'm Larry. Hate to bring you this bad news, but at least you need to understand what is going on in the market, and I wish you well. Have a good day.